Hello and welcome back to another video in the world of Monster Hunter. I'm dubbing this one the XenoBlade, and I've been playing around with this build. It's quite a common build that you've seen a lot of people using. It's either this particular or a variant of the build I will be showing, or the 3-piece Kaiser Gamma. Now, I don't typically use the 3-piece Kaiser Gamma because I find it very inconsistent. I've had hunts where you can blast through it quite quick and maintain your sharpness, and I've had others where your sharpness basically hits green very quickly, and due to that your damage drops off very quickly, and it's just a bit irritating. So although the build itself does work, I won't be highlighting that one today just because I just find it so inconsistent. So I've been playing around with what we have here. So what do we have here? Let's have a gander at the skills and equipment. So this build focuses around using the Taroth Strongarm Horn or the Diablos Tyrannis II, and I have several variants of this build, mostly just swapping the charm around and one decoration. So to start off with, I'm using the Taroth Strongarm Horn. I'm using an Affinity and Health Augment, Kaiser Gamma Helmet with 2 Tenderizer, Damascus Beta Chest with 3 Artillery, Xeno'Jiiva Gamma Gloves with Tenderizer, Charger and Attack, Xeno'Jiiva Gamma Waist with Elementless and Iron Wall, Xeno'Jiiva Gamma Boots with Magazine and 2 Expert, and rounding it all off we have the Attack Charm 3. So what does this give us? Well, it gives us razor sharp / spare shot, which is why we don't really need to focus on handicraft here. Critical eye level 4, attack boost level 4, focus level 3, weakness exploit level 3, artillery level 3, critical boost level 2, power prolonger, not too worried about, special ammo boost, don't really care, non-elemental boost, guard and capacity boost. This build has an effective raw of 394 and 50% affinity. Now, like I said, there are a fair few variations of this build. Each one has different purposes, capabilities, etc, and they all do work in marvellous and wondrously different ways. The build I have just shown is the generalized typical build that I will use. Just allows you to get a little bit more damage out of your files while not compromising too much affinity, although there is a separate build altogether if you're wanting to go full on affinity, as well as just, you know, hit bloody well hard in the first place. So this has become my general build that I do like to use as Charge Blade, although I am leaning more towards the critical element ones. For some monsters, particularly Nogagante, using Impact Phials does just generally work a lot better, simply just because of how hit zone values work with element, and Impact Phials don't give a crap. They will hit as hard as they want to hit all the damn bloody time. So let's have a quick gander at some of these other builds, and I'm not really going to run through the full build for it. I'm just going to say what's changed and how that kind of affects the weapon. So for the first one, we are going to be looking at the maxed out affinity build. Now what this has basically swapped around is the charm for maximum might, allowing you to get obviously more affinity, as well as swapping out that one attack decoration I was using for an expert. This gives you the highest EFR Charge Blade build to date. However, this will drop your file damage by just a little bit, but then you're making up for it by getting more consistent crits. The next one is a bit of an odd one, however it does work. This is the peak performance build. Again, we have swapped out the attack decoration for another expert, and we've put in peak performance. This actually drops your typical hit per hit, but it does compensate that by increasing your file damage, which is quite odd. So generally your hits will hit a little bit less, but your files will hit a little bit more, depending on how you want to go. The 50% affinity is back as well. Now this one is sort of, well, it's the Master's build. You've got the attack decoration is back simply because critical eye is maxed out, and we are using the Master's Charm, as you can see. Now this is kind of like a budget maximum might build, and this is just, it gives you the highest effective critical hits without a condition, if that makes sense. You don't have to have your stamina full, basically. It's a little bit lackluster as you're dropping quite a bit of file damage, but you can make up for it with your crits if you can snipe them effectively. And that's basically where this build has a flaw or perk, depending on how you want to look at it. And then the final build is for all those people that like to just sit there and time their guard points. And what I mean by that is utilizing a handicraft charm along with expert. Push you back to that 50% affinity. You have dropped quite a bit in your EFR and file damage for this. However, you can utilize your guards and guard points a lot more safely without having to worry about going into green sharpness. And yeah, this build's quite handy for things like Nergigante and Teostra, where they're just relentless. So that is my collection of Charge Blade build for the Taroth Strongarm Horn, which is still pretty much the best all-purpose Charge Blade, along with obviously Diablos Tyrannis II. The only difference between the two is the Strongarm Horn gives you a little bit more in a defense bonus, but then due to diminishing returns, you could argue it's not really worth it. But still, I just prefer the looks of this weapon, which is why I use it. So, like I said, they are my Charge Blade builds. It has been interesting testing all of these out, where each one is more useful than another. And I do hope these builds have helped out a lot of people in the meantime. If you do prefer the Kaiser build, or the Master's Touch build, as it were, using 3-piece Kaiser, that is perfectly fine. It is a worthwhile build. I just don't find it as consistent as using Xeno'Jiiva, and you can hit ever so slightly higher EFR using the Xeno'Jiiva. Anyway, that is me. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you guys pretty darn soon. Good luck, have fun, and don't die. Bad for the health.